Alright, guys, hey, what's going on? This will be interesting take for me. Alright, The Rip, directed by Joe Carnahan, and this stars, of course, two Miami officers. One played as the Lieutenant Bane, played by Matt Damon, and J.D. Byrne, played by Ben Affleck, and has a brother, Dale Byrne, played by Scott Adkins. Finding a secret stash of millions of wages in internal conflict for a group of Miami officers pushing trust, loyalty, and self-preservation into sharp and dangerous focus. So this film is about these two Miami officers who pretty much got a call and a bidding in that there was going to be a robbery, a big robbery, and secluded down in this warehouse down in Miami. And so they end up in this stash house. So they end up getting a call. They thought it was going to be somewhere around maybe $500,000, like at least around $500K. And so when they got the call in for that, they needed a big case to try to take down the biggest. They needed one of the bigger crime cases to try to take down, and they end up getting the call, and it didn't go as to plan. It didn't go as to fruition. So once that call is, they end up their trust and their loyalty, not only to the force, but their brotherhood also gets questioned because they're not able to really get in tune and inclined with the overall task force agency. I thought this film was very intriguing, very interesting. Yet the plot very much is not all that as interesting or as investigative. Or interesting as creative as I would have hoped. I thought it very much deviates from what I could have known. And I thought, like I said, the subplots, I thought the story was a little bit, generic and a little bit forced and far-fetched at times. But as far as the characters and the acting and the performances, I thought it was well done. In that sense, I just wish the narrative and I wish the plot would have went somewhere and would have kept going. And it does take a little bit of time to really get going. But once it gets going, once it begins to take off, you really start to see why you really want to pay attention to a film like this, especially with two mega stars in the game. So shout out to them. Shout out to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They really did a good job with this film. Joe Carnahan as well.